Actually, I got some Chovy things today. Where did I put them? My editor, my YouTube editor, sent me some gifts from Korea today. Because he was in Korea recently. Look at that, huh? Look at that. I have a Genji card. And I have a fucking Chovy card. Camera. Chovy card. And I have Ruler and Duro as well, but he didn't send me Kin and Cannon. You know what else I got? Might as well show my whole collection now. Look at that. Damn. Caitlyn from Arcane. Damn. And a Caitlyn card. And a Caitlyn card. Camera. Camera? Fuck you. Doesn't wanna... And then the last thing, and this is my favorite one. I cannot describe how cute this is. You guys ready? You guys ready? Fucking Orm plushie. It's an Orm plushie. That's the cutest plushie I have. I need to brush him. Look at that mustache. Poro Orn. Wait, it's a Poro. Wait, it's a Poro. It's even cuter. It's a Poro. Why are so many people suddenly going Ghost and Khazix again? See, this is the wrong way to approach your question, because we have to actually look at the data about how many players go Ghost and Khazix. That is more important. And if you look at Summoner spells, Master Plus on this patch, according to low analytics, more than 90% of people go Flash. They don't go Ghost. The problem is that you're judging it based on what you see on the stream, right? Last game, we had a Ghost Khazix. In this game, I had a Ghost Khazix. So that's 2 games in a row. So your brain is thinking, wait, everyone is going Ghost and Khazix. But that's not what the data says, right? We can even go E-West. See, 620 games of Flash, 70 games of Ghost. Most people go Flash. I can also look at, for example, Diamond Plus, E-West. And you can see, majority of people still go Flash. So you gotta be really careful in League that you don't get baited by your own examples bias, right? Alright, let's talk about 2 things that Riot is apparently going to be implementing. The first one being, Riot is testing a PB change where players can't ban hover champions. Riot Oberon knows that Shaq dodge report rates and that they're hoping it reduces friction between teammates. So, if you're gonna hover a champion in Champion Select, you won't be able to ban it anymore. This obviously has positives and negatives. Positives being that, you know, you have an OTP in your team, he wants to play a champion, you can ban it, he may be able to play OTP, your chances of winning are probably increased, right? But there's also negatives, because you could shoal, right? You could hover the most OP champions in the game, and then your team can ban them. And then the enemy picks them, you could potentially be losing a game because of that, right? Another negative is that if your teammate hovers a champion that's OP, but you want to ban it because you're red side, not blue side, I would say then, like, in my opinion, it is reasonable that you are banning a champion if you think it's overpowered from red side because you don't have blue side. I think that's reasonable. Now with this change, you will not be able to do that anymore. Now a lot of people on social media are going like, this is a stupid, horrible change. What the fuck are they doing? Because like people tend to be very negative when it comes to Riot changes. I think the same thing happened when it comes to champion anonymity. Let me be completely honest. I think this, if I completely put my bias aside, I think this will probably be net positive for the game. Like yes, there will be instances where this will actually have a negative impact. And maybe especially in high MMR. I think in high MMR, I could see this being used as more of a troll than anywhere else. But I think if you look at overall the game, I think this will have a positive impact on the game. The same thing I said when Champion Anonymity came out. There are still pro players to this day, to nowadays, still complaining that you should be able to see other teammates in Champion Select. And honestly, as much as I see the upside of it, I honestly think Ra did a good job implementing champion anonymity. I think it had a lot more positive effects than negative effects, and I think it's a good change long term. And I'm kind of feeling the same way about this one. Kind of feeling the same way. People just tend to like only think about the most negative scenario ever to justify why it's a bad change, right? People want me to talk about this. This is apparently the new league champion, Zahen. I don't know how to call this. But it's a Darkin, that's why it has double A in the name, right? Every Darkin champ, I think, has a double A in the name. Zahen? Zahen? I don't know. Passive during combat, he stacks a buff. At full stack, Zahen gains a revive and lifesteal. Okay. During combat, he stacks a buff. Okay. He gains a revive and lifesteal. Yeah, so as you guys might know, Riot usually when they release a champion, they usually need to like implement something new to a champion, right? Like not always the case, but for example, Mel had a like brand new W, like a really game-changing spell, right? Like if you look at Yunara, sure, there's nothing particularly new besides the way that her W works. Her W was definitely a unique ability because there's no ability that works like that where you have to basically walk into the opponent to make it go away faster than walking back. But she still is kind of new in a sense that there is no other champion really like her. Sure, she has some similarities between Sivir and Zari maybe, but she's still kind of her own thing, right? So yeah, this is why I guess there's Revive, and people are saying this is the old Aatrox, right? Because old Aatrox had Revive on ult, right? It was, I think. It's a Darkin. I guess it has to do something with reviving or life stealing or whatever. Because like, what are the Darkin champions in this game? It's Naafiri and Aatrox, right? And Rust, Kayn, the Rust version is a Darkin, right? And if you look at all these three champions, what do they have in common? Usually they all like kind of heal, right? That's kind of the Darkin thematic, the heal. And they can have to do something with cheating death or whatever. So the passive kind of like makes sense, I guess. Q empowered auto attack that has some kind of CC. So I assume this is a melee character, right? And if you look at like the splash art, it kind of looks like the old Aatrox with a different weapon. That's kind of like how it looks like. That's just a leak, obviously. We don't really know how it's going to look like in game. Pulls enemies towards him. So it's a Aatrox W, but probably a more consistent one. Are Aatrox players just going to swap to this champion? Small dash, slashing around him and slowing enemies. So this like literally makes me think of Ambassa R. Ambassa E, I mean. So yeah, the only thing here that really like sounds kind of something new is maybe the passive. It's just, I think this is just how Darkin champions are, right? They usually have some sort of mobility, which is like a small dash. They usually have some sort of like maybe some CC here and there, a pool, maybe they have like a lifesteal or a revive. Yeah, I mean, this just reads like a version of old Aatrox and a version of Ambassa E, and then maybe like a different version of Aatrox W, and I don't know what the Q would resemble, and then I don't know. The R, I guess it depends what the R is going to be, but my assumption is that the R is going to be something like super unique, like something like big bomba cool. Because like this alone, I think won't excite players that much. So I think the R needs to like be something special, is what I'm thinking. Cape of Forsen.
Come on. Fucking what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck? What the fuck? Absolute fucking retard.
It is just so funny to see like people in Iron flaming each other. Let's talk a little bit about LSU drafts today. So game 1 draft, I already commented I don't like Casey's draft too much. And the reason for this is because I think they have way too much of a melee team comp into these champions. And there's not like real poppy value here. Alistar will have a really bad time because Morgana Shield will block a lot of like engage possibility. So they won't really have like a lot of engage this game. A lot of champions just won't have the value this game in my opinion. And most of the team comp is reliant way too much on Yunara being ahead. Like Yunara, the good part is Yunara is like a strong champ, so having her in the draft and playing around her is like a good thing, right? You would rather have Yunara here than like a Draven or something, but yeah, just the problem is Morgana will just block too much of like combos this game, too much of engage, too much of like the crowd control. Rumble will like kind of free scale, melt everyone. On hit Varus is really good this game against melees, percent damage. Good mixed damage. Morgana Q will have a lot of value. Morgana E will have a lot of value. Phantom will just be happy brawling with Conqueror, Sunder Sky. I kind of don't like Casey draft. I don't think it's like unwinnable. I just think without this better draft this game. Then we go to game 2. What even happened this game? I didn't even see this. Aatrox R5. That doesn't make any sense. Why was Aatrox R5 here? So this game, I think I prefer Casey's comp because first of all, R5 Aatrox makes no sense. Second of all, I think Kai'Sa is just a weak champion, should not be played. Even though it's a good Kai'Sa comp, it doesn't make sense. I think the only target that Vitality has with this all-in one-shot Vi-ult type of thing comp is the Orianna. But I think the good part about Casey's comp is that first of all, they have Bard ult that can like stall the Orianna engage. Second of all, they have just multiple carries threat. So even if Ori dies, there's most likely going to be like Ambassador Wukong show or even Corki show. So I don't really see the point of Vitality's draft. I think they have basically losing bot, they have losing mid, they have, I mean, with Aatrox top lane, they have like even top lane. But Aatrox will not really scale. Like Ambassador is just a better scaling champ than Aatrox. So the Aatrox R5 doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why was Aatrox even R5'd here? Like if you want a better R5, like Jax is just a straight up better R5 than Aatrox, for example. So it just makes no sense. What is game 3 draft? Okay, this draft makes no sense. So I immediately see so many issues with this draft already. So first of all, okay, let's go one by one. Ryze first pick. Okay, fine. I get where this is coming from. Jarvan Ezreal. Okay. I think the Ezreal rotation is shit. I think the Jarvan rotation is okay. Zed as a jungle answer. So I don't like this already. First of all, this is too early in the Fearless to draft Zed. Because you can see that what happens in this draft is, even though Zed is okay in a vacuum versus Jarvan, the problem with the Zed pick is that you run into Braum and Cho, which makes this champ way worse. Okay. The Zed pick is too early. You should just go... But for example, I think Viego is just a straight up better early pick than Zed. Like, I would rather pick Viego. They basically are kind of fulfilling the same role in the team comp. It's just one is just a lot more versatile than the other. Yeah, like if you draft Viego, then you don't want a range support in your team, right? So the same applies to Zed. So like, for example, drafting Lulu and Zed in the same team comp makes no sense. Like this Braum pick is like amazing. And I guess if Casey can just blind Braum like that, then maybe you should ban Braum. Because I guess it just doesn't matter that you range support the Braum. Like, Sivir Lulu is like a hard fucking winning lane into Braum Ezreal. Like, it's a hard stomping lane, but I guess Vitality lost anyway. Like, if you look at Vitality draft this game, Vitality draft is basically just, we win our lanes, we stack 4 dragons really early on, so we don't get outscaled. And if something goes wrong, Casey draft will win. And then, like, yeah, I mean, Yorick, okay, so we picked Yorick, okay. So we're going for like a split push team comp. Ryze will play mid to bot, and we're gonna empower Sivir Lulu. Like, it has some sense, the team comp, right? Okay, so we picked Yorick. Okay, why are we not banning Cho'Gath? It's like, people literally play Cho'Gath into Yorick. It's like the best neutralizing matchup. Cho'Gath is insanely good into all these champs because they're all low range. The Q will have value, the W will have value. Like, this is just a no-brain Cho'Gath ban. But we banned Renekton and Karma. Karma ban, okay, I can see. Karma Ezreal, sure. Why are we banning Renekton? Like, if Yorick is bad into Renekton, then Yorick should just not be picked. The champion just sucks then. Like, I don't know. So again, I think Vitality team comp has clear win condition. But I just think Casey team comp is just better on stage and it is just more consistent. There's obviously some parts I don't like Victor and Ezreal. I don't like these champs, but let's see this draft. I mean, this is a hard out draft. Like, this doesn't make any sense. It's like literally hard out draft. So Vitality won the first game because they actually had the draft advantage. And then second, third, and fourth game, they had a draft disadvantage and lost all games, or what? Is this how it's going today? Yeah, I mean, this draft makes no sense. So first, Jay's first pick doesn't make sense. The champ's not even a power pick. Aurora Zin, okay, standard. Generic, sure. Sejuani. So why? Why Sejuani? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we have Sejuani. We pair it with only range champions in the entire team comp, so there's no value from E as well. Okay, cool. Sejuani with Jace, not even good. Sejuani with Zoe, not even good. Even more Mercs value. Jean, okay, generic pick. Cassandra, okay, fine answer into Jace. Then we go into 4-5, and I don't know in what world we live in that our conclusion is to pick Zoe. I would really like to know what conclusion world we live in, that Zoe is the matchup into Aurora. Not only is this not a good matchup, because this is obviously going to be tank built on Aurora, so Zoe Bubble will never kill her. But also, we're picking Zoe because what? BDD drafted her today, and we're just like thinking now the champ is good or what? We're not BDD, man. Let's not draft Zoe. Like, what are we doing? And also, how does Tom Cage make any sense in this draft? Like, let me guess, all melee supports are out, and so you have no idea what to blind, so you decide to blind Tom. Like, what? Tom against what? There's no R value, and then it's like the easiest Aphelios trash punish ever. Like, they have Aphelios, you know trash is coming. You know trash is coming. Like, if all the melee supports are out, just blind Blitzcrank this game. Or if you want a melee support. And if not, play a range support. Those are your options, man. This is out, I demand it. Okay, let's think what are the good options here. I think you go Senna or you go Zilan. Yeah, those are the picks. You go Senna, you go Zilan, or you go Taric. 3 options. Choose. You have nothing better. I actually like Zilan maybe the most, because it actually makes the gene scale, turbo hyper scale here. Taric is also fine. Senna is also fine. But Senna is gonna be tough into trash, right? Don't get me wrong. Senna is gonna be tough, but... Or you can take trash away. But then you take trash away, and then the enemy team replies with like Melia, and you hard lose, right? So it doesn't make sense. Yeah, what a shit draft to be in, right? What a shit spot to be in. You have no options on support blind on 5, because everything you pick will get mega counterpicked with Aphelios. What did we even ban? We banned Lucian and Leona. Why would we ban Leona? We're banning our own champion. Okay, Lucian ban because they're afraid of Lucian Nami, but then ban Lucian Aphelios. At least ban 2 of the same roles. Ban Lucian Aphelios. Okay, you ban Aphelios, what will the enemy team pick? Well, they're probably looking at like Zari, or they're looking at like Ashe, or they're looking at like... I mean, obviously they're gonna find an ADC to play, right? But IMO, like, Aphelios is just God mode here with trash.